Whispers at 3 a.m. Are you ready to uncover the truth and strengthen your English at the same time? Turn the page, but be careful. Some whispers never fade. What if the whispers you hear at night are real? Calling your name, revealing secrets you should never know. Whispers at 3 a.m. is a psychological thriller that will pull you into a world of mystery and fear. This story is written in simple English, making it easy for beginners to read and learn. With each chapter, you will improve your vocabulary and understanding without even realizing it. Chapter 1: The First Whisper. It was a very quiet night, and everything in my apartment was completely still. The only sound I could hear was the slow ticking of the clock on the wall. I was lying in my bed with my eyes closed, trying to fall asleep after a long and tiring day. The air in the room was cool, and I could feel the soft blanket covering my body. Suddenly, I heard something that made my eyes open wide. It was a voice. It was not loud, and it did not sound like it was coming from outside. It was soft, almost like a whisper, and it seemed to be coming from somewhere inside my own bedroom. It called my name, Ethan. My whole body became stiff, and I could feel my heart beating very fast inside my chest. I held my breath and listened very carefully because I wanted to make sure that I was not just imagining it. The room was completely silent now, and I could not hear anything else. I slowly reached for my phone, and when I looked at the screen, I saw the time. It was exactly 3 o'clock in the morning. I sat up in my bed, and I felt my hands becoming cold. I turned on the light next to me and looked around the room. Everything was exactly the same as before. The door was closed, the window was locked, and there was nobody there. For a long time, I kept staring at the dark corners of the room because I felt like someone was hiding there, watching me. But no matter how hard I looked, I could not see anything. After some time, I took a deep breath and told myself that I must have been dreaming. I turned off the light, pulled the blanket over me, and closed my eyes. I tried to convince myself that it was just my imagination, but I knew deep inside that something was not right. Chapter 2: The Second Night. The next night, I was afraid to go to sleep because I kept thinking about what had happened before. I told myself again and again that I had only imagined the whisper. But no matter how many times I repeated it, I could not shake off the strange fear inside me. At exactly 11 o'clock, I turned off the lights and lay in my bed. The room was quiet, and I tried to relax. I closed my eyes and took deep breaths, hoping that sleep would come quickly. Hours passed, and I was still awake. The room felt colder than usual, and I could not stop thinking about the voice that had called my name the night before. And then, at exactly 3 o'clock in the morning, I heard it again. Ethan. This time, I was completely awake, and I knew that I was not dreaming. I sat up very fast and looked towards the door. The whisper had come from that direction. I could feel my whole body shaking, and I was too afraid to move. I wanted to turn on the light, but my hands were frozen in fear. I kept staring at the door, expecting it to open at any moment, but nothing happened. The room was silent again. I gathered all my courage and reached for my phone. I turned on the flashlight and pointed it at the door. There was nothing there. I slowly got out of bed and walked towards the door. My heart was beating so fast that I could hear it in my ears. I opened the door and looked outside into the hallway. It was empty. I checked every room in my apartment, but there was nobody there. The windows were locked, and the door was still bolted from the inside. There was no way that anybody could have entered. Yet I had heard the whisper with my own ears. I could not explain it, and that made it even more terrifying. Chapter 3. The Recordings. The next day, I felt very tired because I had not been able to sleep after what had happened. I kept thinking about the whisper, and I knew that I needed to find some answers. I decided to set up my phone to record audio while I slept. If the whisper came again, I would have proof that it was real. That night, I placed my phone on my bedside table and set it to record. I told myself that if nothing strange happened, then I would finally be able to convince myself that it had all been my imagination. I lay in bed and closed my eyes, trying to sleep. Hours passed, and I felt myself slowly drifting away. And then, at exactly 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up suddenly. I did not hear anything this time, but I felt something strange in the air. It was as if the whole room had become heavier. I could feel a strange pressure on my chest, and I could not move for a few seconds. I sat up and grabbed my phone with shaking hands. I stopped the recording and immediately played it back. For the first few minutes, there was nothing but silence. Then, at exactly 3 o'clock, I heard it. A soft whisper, "Ethan, help me." I felt my entire body go cold. I live alone,